Bcom semester 1 HRM. Guys, we already have finished third unit of your syllabus, and today we are going to start your new unit, that is unit number 4. Under this unit we need to discuss three different chapter, and this is your last unit of the syllabus also. So guys, in this unit we will discuss job design, quality of work life, and quality circles. So guys, today we are going to discuss about job design. So let's see the first chapter of unit 4, job design. Okay, so here in the job design we need to discuss few points that are given over here. We need to discuss about job design, meaning characteristics, various approaches to job design. Then we will discuss about factors affecting job design, importance of job design, job redesign, job rotation, job enlargement, job enrichment, difference between job enrichment and job enlargement. So guys, this will be the chapter of job design, and let's understand what the job design exactly means. So guys, it means job should be designed in such a way so that employees can do work properly. They do not get tired with the job, they do not get bored with the job. So there should be some approaches, there should be some methods by which job can be designed in a systematical manner, so that each employee can do the job with very interestingly, and there should be some other methods by which we can make the job more interesting. And when the employees do not get bored with the job, and when he does the work with very great efficiency, then organization or company itself gets the benefit from the employee. But if the employee itself or employee himself get bored with the job, and he do not have any confidence to do the job, or he may get tired with the job uh, every day, or there may be some other problems with the job also. So if the employee is not comfortable with the job, then he may not do the work properly, and the company has to face the loss, or company has to suffer of that problem. So company itself decide to make the job very interestingly for the employees, so that employee like the job, they perform very adequately, and organization or the company will get the benefit from the employees, and employee will also be interested in the job. So this is what all about job design means. Design a job in a such a way so that employees can do the job very interestingly. So let's see the job design. So guys, here we will start the lecture with the introduction, that as we always do in all the chapters. So let's see. First of all, here we are given the quote. Let's see. Job design is concerned with so designing the job that it will reduce the human fatigue. Fatigue means thak or tiredness, and boredom, that is boring, and diminish chances of accidents. So this will also be considered in the job design. So guys, as I have already discussed with you, means it is a systematically design of a job by which we concern with the fatigue and the boredom and the chances of accidents that occurs during the job, or many other things that we will discuss during the lecture. So let's start with the basic introduction. The modern production technology leads to specialization and division of labor. It results into large scale production at lower cost of production. But more production is not the only objective of business. The concept of human relations in industries is concerned with humanizing the production. The job should be so designed that the worker does not become bored, the work does not become monotonous. It results into less fatigue, less chances of accidents, and more job satisfaction to the workers. So guys, in the introduction we can easily understand that job design means it is a design of a job, or job should be designed in such a way so that employees can do the job with the full of interest. They can do the job without getting tired. They do not get bored with the job, and the chances of accidents should also be reduced. So it is a kind of job design and the meaning of job design. Now we will move further to see the basic definition and the characteristics of job design. So guys, let's understand the meaning and characteristics of job design. So here, when the concept of human relations in industries was put forward, it was also suggested that jobs should be designed keeping in view the human characteristics and needs. Every individual has different capability and skill of working. Every time job design is thought of, it must be considered how to design the job that will suit human beings working on it. The way jobs are designed influences employee performance and satisfaction. The job has to be adjusted to the human needs, not vice versa. If it is taken care of, productivity will increase without increasing efforts of the workers. There would be interesting difference in old and new way of thinking. Formerly, the idea was to increase production without thinking about its effect on human mind and body. While modern thinking is based on effect of work on human being, besides increasing production and productivity. So, guys, here in the meaning, we can clearly understand that jobs should be designed in a such a way so that company can get more production without without putting more efforts of the workers. So it is all kind of job design. Now we will see the more, and here at last we are given or we are said that in the past time, means formerly before few years, when there is no such kind of idea, so when company only has to focus on the maximization of the production. So whenever they want to maximize their production, employees need to work hard and hard. But in today's world, in modern thinking, companies focus on the kind of job, that how the job is designed, and job is decided in such a way by which company can get more production without increasing the efforts of the employees. So guys, here this is what all about the meaning of job design. Now we will move further. As we have seen the meaning deeply, we will see in simple words, job design is concerned with designing the job keeping in the view human approach in industries. It aims at increasing productivity, reducing fatigue means tiredness, thak, and monotony of workers, providing work safety, and fulfill the higher level needs as presented by Maslow and Husberg's, or providing motivating factors. Now we will see other definition. As Segal has put it, job design determines the job units assigned to individual employees and the method of performing it. Third, while explaining the meaning of job design, Terelip says the term job design refers to the way the tasks are combined and to determine the responsibilities associated with it. So here we are given three different definitions, and all the definitions gives us the same meaning, that it is a kind of design of the job which uh, on which the employees can do the work properly without getting tired and bored. Now, guys, here we are given the characteristics of job design. Let's see it one by one. So, here on the screen, we are given the characteristics of job design. So, in the characteristics, the first characteristic is human at the center. So, when the job is being designed by the executive, always they keep this human at a center. Second thing is job satisfaction. Third is reduce stress. Fourth is bring variety and diversity. Fifth is job enlargement. Sixth is job rotation, and the seventh is job redesign. So let's understand each and every characteristics one by one. So guys, here we are given the first characteristics is human at the center. So as I have told you, in the modern concept of the job design, a human being is at the center and his needs and convenience are given prime importance. So whenever an executive design the job, or whenever whosoever the design the job, they always thinks about the human, they always thinks about employee, that how the employee will find the job, whether he will be comfortable with the job or not, what problems can be faced by him if the job design is like this. So there are many questions which needs to be thought during the designation of the job. The second thing is job satisfaction. Job is designed in such a way that it will give job satisfaction to employees. Of course, Ultimately, it leads to increased productivity, thus benefiting the employees. The organization itself is benefited. So, when an employee is satisfied with the job, then he will do the work more efficiently. And when an employee does the work more efficiently, organization will get or company will get the benefit of its efficiency. Now we will see the third characteristics, that is to reduce stress. Job design aims at reducing the strain and stress caused by too much specialization. Particularly, it aims at reducing the boredom and fatigue resulting from the same routine and boring job. Fourth is bring variety and diversity. In the job designing, employee need not to do the same kind of work all the time. He will get the variety and diversity in the work so that he will not get bored with the same kind of work. So guys, let's see, along with reducing boredom and stress, it also motivates to work because it involves use of varied and diverse skills, and it is made challenging. Now we will see fifth, job enlargement. Job design includes both job enlargement and job enrichment. By satisfying their higher order needs, efforts is made to give them more job satisfaction. Now, the job rotation. Job design also includes job rotation in which an employee is shifted from one job to another job to reduce his boredom, because it happens in the many cases that when an employee is doing the same kind of job since long, then he will get bored with the job. So job rotation is also an important part of the job design, because when an employee get new kind of job or new kind of task after a certain point of time, then he will not get bored with the same kind of work, and he can do the work with more accuracy, and he will also be eager to get some new kind of work and new challenges. So that job rotation is also considered as an important part of job design. Now guys, we will see job redesign. A job redesign is not a permanent one. It has to be considered from one time to time in light of developments in production techniques and technologies. This is done to impart job satisfaction to employees. In other works, the concept of job design includes job redesign also. So, guys, here we will see various approach to the job design. There are certain approaches which are considered in the job design, so we need to see it one by one, as this is in your syllabus. So various approach to the job designs, here are four different approach to the job design. We will see it one by one. The one is scientific management approach, the second is biopsychological approach, third is socio-technical approach, and the fourth is job characteristics model. So guys, here we will see the first, scientific management approach. So here, the scientific management approach of job design, will see one of the most important early efforts at job design was undertaken at the turn of the century by Frederick Taylor in what has come to be known as scientific management movement. Taylor and his associates Gilbert, Merrick, Emerson examined job with techniques such as time and motion studies. Their aim was to maximize human efficiency in job. Taylor himself suggested that by making job design more scientific, both parties must be benefited. But the greedy employers tried to exploit the idea to maximize their own profit and forget the human aspect. This resulted into high productivity and greater control over workers, but they ignored the side effect on quality of goods, absenteeism, and turnover of workers. So, guys, here in the scientific approach, Frederick Taylor has given the focus on the time study and motion study. So, guys, Frederick Taylor has given approach of the scientific management. In this approach, Frederick Taylor has suggested that each and every organization should adopt the scientific management approach of the job design, because when the job is designed scientifically or by using the scientific management approach, an employee will not get tired easily. And he also criticized the greedy employer, that the greedy employer will not adopt the scientific management approach, and he will only think about his personal profit. But as the Frederick Taylor says, that each and every employer need to think about the employees, because when an employee is not satisfied or not happy with the job, then he will not give his 100% to the job. So an employer need to suffer about the quality of the goods. He also need to suffer for the turnover of the workers, and employees will not come regularly, so absenteeism will also be increased. So in the scientific management approach, the Frederick Taylor has said that each and every or employer need to think and need to adopt a scientific management approach of job design. Now we will read further. Taylor also cared for the interest of the workers in his scientific management approach. He stated that the best method of doing must be designed by management with the cooperation of workers. The recruitment of workers must be scientific in the sense that right persons must chosen for the right job. The management was called upon to provide properly designed, standardized tools and equipment and raw materials in efficient quantity. Taylor himself had experimented in Bethlehem steel works to prepare a scientific design of soles, but the industrialists accepted the concept of best method of doing and scientific wage system only. The following were the main element of scientific management approach. So here we will see the main elements of scientific management approach of job design, and then we will move further. So let's understand the main elements of scientific management approach and who has given the scientific management approach. Then guys, you need to know that the Frederick Taylor has given the scientific management approach. As your exam will be based on the MCQ, you need to remember such things that you need to remember that the Frederick Taylor has given the scientific management approach of job design. So here in the elements, we will see the first. The job should be divided into various elements and time must be recorded for each element of the job. A worker will be able to do only a small part of the job very efficiently because of specialization. So each worker must be allotted a part of the whole job. For example, putting a nut on the bolt on assembly line. So guys, in the first element, Taylor has suggested that an employee should not given the whole task. There should be a part of the task and employee should be given a specific part of the task so that he can use his specialized knowledge on a single part of the task, so he need not to remember the whole process of making a product. Second thing is care must be taken to avoid unnecessary movement while working on the job. Motion study must be undertaken for this purpose. This will reduce his fatigue and increase productivity. Now how to do the work is must be taken care by the employer. So here the Taylor said that employer must care about the to avoid unnecessary movements while working on the job. So when an employee do the unnecessary movement, if he does the unnecessary movement, then he will get tired very soon. So there it must be avoided and he must do the work in a proper manner. So the reduce will be the fatigue will be reduced and increase productivity. Third element is tool must be placed at a proper height so that unnecessary motions are avoided. The work becomes speedy and fatigue is reduced. Tools and equipments used by worker must be placed at such a place that worker can get very easily and he can reach them. Fourth is the tool and equipment must be so designed that it increases productivity and efficiency of the workers. It implies that the tools must be so designed that they can be carried and used easily by the workers. So guys, the tools that are required to do the job should be designed in such a way so that work can be done very easily by using the tools. Now fifth element is the job was the job was to be so designed that the fatigue of workers will be reduced. As far as possible, the job must be so designed that worker can work sitting comfortably. The tools must be put at a proper height and enough space must be provided for movement of workers around the workplace. So guys, here in this element, we are said that the job should be designed in such a way so that fatigue, or we can say the tiredness of the workers will be reduced, and we can say that job should be designed in such a way so that employee can do the work by sitting at one place, so he need not to move here and there to do the work. So it also be considered, and the tools must be put at a proper height and space so that he can get the tools very easily and he should get enough space around to do the work. Now the sixth element is the layout of factory and office was to be prepared in such a way that the work moves ahead smoothly, fatigue is reduced, and physical conditions remain comfortable. So the overall environment of the factory should also be smooth and comfortable to do the work for the employees. So guys, this is all about the scientific management approach of the job design. Now we will see biopsychological approach. This approach attempts to see that the physical demand of work do not exceed the physical capacity of the workers and gives them job satisfaction. So here we will see under the biopsychological approach, Sri K. Smith presented this approach. He stated that materials, tools and equipments must be so placed around the worker that a worker doing work in a sitting position has simply to stretch his hands horizontally or vertically to get them. He need not stand up to get those things. So guys, here we are given or we are said that the equipments that are required to do the job should be placed at such a place so that an employee can get those tools very easily by just horizontally or vertically raise his hand. So he need not to stand up to get those tools, because when he does this when he stands up repeatedly he will get tired and cannot do the work properly. So everything should be keep aside just beside him, so that he can reach very easily and can get tools very easily. And here we are given the examples, so the example should be read by yourself. We will see over here that we will see the main points that are given over here. This approach of job design suggests that the job design should balance the needs of employees and the needs of technology. This will make the work interesting for worker and will lead to increased job satisfaction. And here we are given the biopsychological approach suggests that the job design should be such as will reduce physical fatigue of workers to minimum, that is his physical need must be taken into consideration. The efforts of Gilbert undertaking motion studies were in this direction. So guys, here in the first suggestion we are said that job design should be in such a manner so that employee does not get tired very easily and he can give his 100% to the work. Second thing is his psychological needs must also be considered so that his boredom in doing repetitive routine work is reduced. Besides, some motivating factors as mentioned by Herbergs must be utilized to motivate him. So guys, second thing is employees psychological needs also be considered so that the employee cannot get bored with the same kind of work or with with the work whatever the work he is doing. So he employee needs to be motivated so that he can do the work very efficiently. Third suggestion that we are given in the psychological approach: if the experiment or research reveals that productivity is decreasing or performance of workers is unsatisfactory, the matter must be investigated and the job should be redesigned. And in the third suggestion, we are said that when the situation is not favorable, or we can say when the performance of the worker is not satisfactory, then we should consider the matter and we should redesign the job. Now we will see socio-technological approach, or we can say socio-technical approach. So as we have discussed two different approach, now we will see the third approach of the job design. The scientific management approach, which is now known as job engineering approach, is concerned with work measurement, standard tasks, work methods, standard operating procedures, etc. Operators were asked to work on assembly line, doing a small job like putting a nut on the bolt. It is automobile plant. Is it an automobile plant? The technology was so designed which did not consider human fatigue, boredom, human needs, etc. So guys, here we are given again the same thing of the scientific management approach, but now we already know that what is there in the scientific management approach. In the scientific management approach we were said that um, whatever the task is, the whole task should be divided into small different tasks, and each and every employee needs to give that simple and small task, so that when the work is gone through whole different small tasks, the main task should be done. But in the socio-technical approach it is exactly the opposite of the what has said in the scientific approach. Let's see. But as the concept of the quality of work life become prevalent in industrial field, the concept of balancing technology with social system came to be accepted. According to this approach, The technology should be so used that it becomes consistent with social system in the organization. The workers work in a group and behave according to the beliefs and values of the group constitutes a social system. So, guys, in this social technical system, we are said that work should be done through the group of employees. So, if we have 50 employees in our company, then we need to make a group of, for example, we have make a group of 5 employees in a group. So, we have make a group of 5 employees. Each group has 5 employees. So, the whole work should be done by that group. So each and every group will do the whole work and they will follow the instructions given by the leader of the group. So when the work is done by such way, it is known as socio-technical approach. So let's read further in this. The workers in a group and behave according to beliefs and values of the group constitutes a social system. The technology must be adjusted to the needs of this social system. A group of workers may be formed to do the whole job and not a small part of the job. They may employ self control and may be given decision making freedom. Means group is given the full freedom of the of doing the work. So each and every group has 100% freedom to do the work. So they will do the work by themselves. Now it was in the Volvo automobile plant in Sweden that the president experimented this approach instead of assembly line production. He formed autonomous work groups. These groups consisted of 5 to 12 workers who elected their own supervisors. They scheduled, assigned, and inspected their own work instead of individual piece rates, group piece rates, or wage rate paid. A special career was developed to transport the car to the various work groups. So, guys, here as we are given the an example of Volvo automobile, it was very successful experiment which is done on the basis of socio-technical approach. And in this approach, we are said that the whole work should be done in a group of the employees, and the group of the employees should be given 100% freedom and the decision making skills. Now we will see the job characteristics model. That is fourth one. As we are seeing the different approach of the job design, this is the fourth one, job characteristics model. To reduce the boredom of the repetitive job, Herzberg is given the concept of job enrichment, but this concept had its own limitations. So a group of researchers began to find relationship between certain job characteristics and employee motivation. In case of scientific management, there was over specialization of work. The worker was doing a job which was very insignificant as compared to the whole product. So he did not know what he is contributing to the product. For example, workers who is simply putting nuts on the bolts on the assembly line of automobile plant does not such a minor work that he treats himself as a very insignificant person. But in order to satisfy his sense of the self-esteem, it is necessary that he should do this significant part of the whole product. For example given, instead of asking him to join two parts of the assembly of radio manufacture, he may be entrusted to the work of assembling the whole radio. For this purpose, he needs to identify the whole task. So, guys, here in the job characteristics model, we are said that when an employee is doing a small part of the work, he will not get very interested to do the work because he does not realize the importance of the work he is doing. But when we asked him to make the whole product, so he knows that whatever the product he is making, there is a certain use of that product. People use my product, so he will get realized his importance of doing work. That whatever the product I am making, people use the product which was made by me. So he will be motivated. His self esteem will be increased, and he will get interested to do the work because he knows the importance of the work. So here we are given an example of the radio. For example, an employee is just given the job of putting the nut bolt on the screw. then he will not understand the value of his work. But when we ask him to make the whole radio, then he will realize the value of his work, that he is making a radio and people will use the radio. So in the job characteristics model, we are said that an employee should be given the whole work. He must be asked to make the whole product so that he can realize the value of what he is making, and he will be motivated himself to do the work in a better way. So based on this line of thinking, Richard Heckman and Greg Oldman developed the most widely recognized model of job characteristics. This model implies that certain job characteristics contribute to certain psychological position of workers. They develop following five characteristics of job: variety of skills, task identity, task significance, autonomy, feedback. These are also known as core dimensions of the job. So, guys, in the job characteristics model, we are given five different points. Let's see it one by one. The first one is variety of skill. It refers to the extent to which the job requires the person to do different things so that the worker can use number of different skills and talent. The work will become meaningful to him and he will feel interested. Again, second is task identity. This refers to the complete work. Here, as I have told you, an employee should be given the complete work. So, this refers to the complete work which can be identified. A person can do the whole job from beginning to end and can see the result for himself. For example, he may assemble the whole radio, for which he must identify the task of preparing the whole radio instead of joining only any two parts. The natural unit of work will promote a sense of job ownership in the worker, a feeling of responsibility for an identifiable unit of work. Third is task significance. The worker must understand the importance of his task. If it has an important impact effect on others inside and outside, the task significance increases. If the job has impact on the work of others in the company, it has internal significance. The worker feels that he plays an important role in the production. Similarly, if his task has an important importance to outsiders, it has an external significance. For example, if he prepares an injection syringe useful to doctors in treating patient, he can say with pride that he is useful to the society. This is external task significance. So, guys, as I have told you that whatever the product is being produced in the company, an employee should be given the whole, the complete task, and he is said to, or he is asked to make the whole product so that he can understand the significance of the task that he is doing. Fourth point is autonomy. This refers to the amount of freedom, independence, and discretion the person has in areas such as determining time schedule of work, making decisions, and determining how to do the job. Many feels that this is the most significant aspect of the job. When such autonomy is given to worker, he understands his responsibility and tries to fulfill it. As he is free to work according to his will, he makes the best use of his ability. So, autonomy means an employee should be given some kind of freedom by which he can do the work by himself. And the fifth one is feedback. This refers to the extent to which a worker may get information about his performance, whether the work has been properly done or not. The job should be so designed that the worker can see the performance and outcomes of his efforts. So, here the feedback should also be done so that worker can realize the performance that he is doing and he can improve the weakness that he is having by himself. So here we are given the job characteristics model, that core job dimensions, critical for the psychological states, and person and work outcomes. And here we are given skill variety, task identity, and task significance, autonomy, and feedback, and by which whatever we have got is we already have discussed these things in the previous points, that you just need to see the whole diagram and understand it clearly. So we are also given an explanation of this diagram over here, that we will skip this. No need to read about it because we already have discussed these points in a deep, and you just need to go through the diagram and read the explanation of the diagram that is given here. Now we will move to the next point, that is factors affecting job design. So guys, that's it for today in this lecture, and we'll continue the lecture or and continue the chapter with the new lecture that will be uploaded by me tomorrow. Meanwhile, goodbye, and just revise the topics that we have done in this lecture. And you also need to understand the meaning of job design, that what is job design and what are the different approaches. So we have discussed three different points in the chapter. The fourth point will be discussed by me in the next lecture. Goodbye.